Hello again, everybody. Zach Attack is here with the Atakline for this Monday, September 29th, 2014. Alright, hope everyone had a great weekend. I did. 4 great DJ Zach Attack gigs over the weekend. Kicking off Friday, I kicked off my new tour. I got this back to school tour going on. That continues this week. But this past weekend, I kicked off my new tour to accompany back to school for the non-school shows. And some school shows after back to school ends, called Attacking the Holidays. Yeah, it's early, but still. Kicked it off anyway after the summer tour ended 2 weeks ago. And the new tour kicked off at Splash Splash for Super Splash Bash at OHS Pro since July. And it was decent, decent attendance, but the crowd was interesting, I was nervous because I played for the grade school kids. And I know what song's inappropriate for this certain event. But for this birthday party, there was a bunch of boys. They kept yelling a certain chorus in my head the entire evening. My Anaconda, my 10-year-old boys wanted Nicki Minaj's Anaconda. I played it anyway, won the bones. So, hope I didn't get in too much trouble. But that was like the requested song, besides most requested song, was definitely All About That Bass. Every 2 minutes, someone was requesting All About That Bass. And of course, obviously, Harlem Shaking and all those regular line dancing songs got requested too. So there was a fun splash match to kick off the tour and kick off the weekend. Then Saturday, doubleheader. Westview Orchards. I did Westview Orchards Saturday and Sunday as well. Great weather. Great weather this week. Great weather here in Michigan. Like 70s all weekend. Sunny and 70 all weekend. That made up for 2 awesome days at Westview. Best weekend of the year. This past weekend was decent. But this weekend was the best weekend in Westview thus far. At least 5,000 people each day. Sunday was a tad bit better, but both days were awesome. We did a lot of activities. It was Mustang weekend, because we had a 50th anniversary Mustang corn maze. I got a Mustang hat, but I'm not wearing it right now. So, that was fun days at Westview. Then on Saturday night, after the first show at Westview on Saturday, I went to North Channel Yacht Club, which I kicked off my summer tour at. Came back from North Channel to do their post golf outing dinner, and the after party for the golf outing. It was okay, mostly rock dominated. New stuff worked a little bit, mostly line dances, but it was more laid back crowd. Because when I do the other North Channel show, there's other yacht clubs there. The event I do at North Channel in June is for the Anchor Bay Yachting Association with all these other yacht clubs. Like Anchor Bay Yacht Club and all these other yacht clubs. But this is just for the North Channel people. So it was okay. Decent show, though. They had fun, though. They were bouncing, dancing a little bit. The songs like Mustang Sally and even Rocky Mountain Way got some people dancing. So there you go. So fun weekend. This past weekend, I got a busy weekend ahead of me. Another 4-gig weekend this upcoming weekend. First fun one of the year at Hevel. And then another fun one-ish at night for New School Morse and Troy. That's Friday night. Saturday back at Westview. And also another yacht club here on Point. Sorry, allergies bugging me today. 5th gig. Actually, it's a Fatal 5-way next weekend with Westview on Sunday. Now, all the entertainment news. Starting with your #1 movie in America. Very impressive showing for The Equalizer, the new Denzel Washington movie, debuted with $35 million. While The Box Trolls was a bombity, only making $17 million. So there you go. Congrats to Denzel for his new #1 smash. Speaking of new, a lot of new singles and album news today. Starting off with 2 artists releasing new singles. Let's kick off with Fergie. Now, about a week or 2 ago on this Atakline, I think it was like last Monday or something, there was news coming out that Fergie was finally working on her long-awaited solo follow-up to The Duchess. That was 8 years ago. It came out with the big smashes, London Bridge, Glamorous, Fergalicious, all those smashes. So it's reported it was going to come out sometime next year, and a new single will be out by the end of the year. Well, the new single is out today. LA Love, Lala. Now, it sounds like a gangster rap song. It's got like a gangster beat because it was produced by DJ Mustard, who's had various hits with artists like YG with My Hitter. So it's an interesting little gangsta dancey song. It's okay. I'm waiting for the second single. But it always happens with artists these days that the first single comes out and I don't like the first single, and then the second single comes out and it makes me say second single was bad, was worse, and the first single was better. That's what happened with so many people in the last year, like JT and Katy Perry. Didn't like the first singles, waited for the second single, and the second single was bad, and I was like, first single was better than the second after all. So I don't want that to happen with anybody, specifically One Direction. Let me say that much. Fergie's song is better than One Direction's song because it's bouncier. Because One Direction's song, you can't fucking dance to it. They haven't had a good dance song since Best Song Ever. They kicked off Midnight Memories, the third album. Now they got the fourth album coming out in November, 4, aptly titled. And they released a free song called Fireproof, and I was like, please don't let Fireproof be a new single, or at least be a hint of what the album's going to sound like, mid-tempo songs. And Simple Girl's kind of okay. It's not as bad as I'm a disc jockey, like I mentioned. I like dance songs. I'm not a big fan of mid-tempos. So, Still My Girl, it's okay. It's kind of got an okay chorus, but it's just okay. You can't bounce to it, you can't dance to it. At least Fergie's song, you can at least bounce with it. But One Direction, you can't do nothing with it. They need a dance remix, or at least a better second single, if they can deliver a better second single. They need a... Because I remember what they did with Midnight Memories. They released the fast song first, which was Best Song Ever. They released the mid-tempo Story of My Life. So I hope they do the opposite. Mid-tempo song first, and the second song be a dance song. Or at least a bouncier song. So there you go. Fergie's new single out today, LA Love Lala, for long-awaited follow-up to the Duchess, set to come out sometime next year. And One Direction's new single, 4, album, kicked off a new single, Still My Girl, coming out today. The album 4 comes out in November 17th. Now, speaking of people setting new albums, an artist over the weekend announced her new album. But it's not a new studio album per se, it's a greatest hits album. Carrie Underwood taking a little break as she prepares for the birth of her first child, announced she will be releasing her first greatest hits album, Greatest Hits Decade 1, set to come out December 9th. It's obvious. This is not only a good thing for it to come out because of the break, because of a baby, but also she has celebrated a decade. Next year will be 10 years since she won American Idol. And like every greatest hits album, you have to have a new single to promote it. Something in the Water is a new single, came out today as well, to iTunes, and songs kind of like that Jesus take the wheel theme again, like religious empowerment, And it's an okay song, it's a little bouncy. I like the message though. I'll say that much. Carrie can deliver some great, powerful message songs. See songs like "See You Again" and "Just a Dream." Very inspirational, powerful songs. And the aforementioned "Jesus Take the Wheel." There is no word on the track listing, specific track list yet, of what songs will appear on the album, but expect the majority of her hit singles, stemming from the once again mentioned "Jesus Take the Wheel." I Say Before He Cheats should be on there. Wasted, probably all of her number ones. Undo It, Good Girl, Blown Away. Go down the list of Carrie songs. So there you go. Carrie Underwood, new greatest hits album coming out December as a stopgap for her baby. A new single out now, Something in the Water. And a lot of people releasing new albums, or at least people are announcing they're going to record new albums. Especially in the world of classic rock. Of course, we all know AC/DC's got their new album coming out in December, the week before Carrie Underwood's album, on December 2nd. First without Malcolm Young, and it's been found out that Malcolm Young's specific illness that has been disclosed is dementia. Wow, that's why he left the group. Sad to hear that. Get well, Malcolm, man. Get better, man. Sad that you got dementia, man. That sucks. So there you go. But there's one classic rock band who will be heading in the studio for their farewell album and farewell tour. Black Sabbath. Now last year, after so many years, Sabbath finally released their new album, 13. The first album since 1979 with Ozzy Osbourne. And without Bill Ward After, of course, various bullshit lawsuits, all that shit. So Ozzy today announced in a new interview that Sabbath will be working in the studio again early next year, with Rick Rubin producing it again like they did on 13, and they'll say the album will be its last. And followed by a tour with Tony and Geezer. Ozzy said in an interview, the whole Sabbath experience this time around was great. We all made friends, we didn't fuck around, we knew we had a job to do, and we did it. It was a lot of fun. So we're going to do one more album and one last tour. Once the dust settles after the 13 tour, we started discussing the idea because we're getting asked about it all the time. I said, Sharon, what's going on? Because if there's no more Sabbath, I want to get on with my own thing again. Sharon came back and said, let me look into it. 3 weeks later, I asked her about it again, and she said, oh, I still have to talk to so-and-so. And I said, Sharon, I ain't fucking 21 anymore. If we're going to do it, I want to do it before I'm 70. Time is not on our side. So I made a Stones reference there. So she made the call and came back and said, yeah, the record company does want a new album. So they're working with Rick Rubin. Now he's 65, so he wants to do another Sabbath before 70. So there you go. Black Sabbath set to record a new album next year and do a tour, which will be their last. That's what they said. It will be the last till they come back. Ain't That White, Kiss, and Judas Priest. Anyway, and Scorpions. Guilty of saying, oh, we're going away, but we're back. Molly may not do that. They signed a contract. Anyway, speaking of Rock Band is going to be at a festival. Motley was at iHeart Music Festival, and I'll give this festival credit. Rock in Rio landing in America for the first time. Now, iHeart Radio was 2 days, and it was a hodgepodge. Like, for people wanting to see Motley Crue, you had to sit through Usher and Ariana Grande. Not a Rock in Rio, they got 2 Pacific weekends. A rock weekend and a pop weekend. They are smart when it comes to that. Having different crowds for both weekends, instead of having them all in one spot. Having separate weekends for the genres. So, headlining the Rock Fest will be Metallica, along with Linkin Park and the Deftones. Some of the first names being announced. And no doubt, I think they'll rock, but they'll pop too. I think they'll be in the pop weekend, along with John Legend and Taylor Swift. Now she's officially pop. So, those are the first 6 names. There'll probably be more heading towards the big Rock in Rio USA Inaugural Festival for May 8th and 9th and the 15th and 16th. The 8th and the 9th being the Rock Festival and the 15th and 16th being the Pop Weekend, to take place on the grounds of the place where the iHeart Music Festival was last week, the MGM Grand Garden in Las Vegas. So there you go. First names announced for Rock in Rio's Inaugural Festival in America. Should be interesting. And for Metallica, this could be a hint of things to come. They could do some more touring in America. They haven't done an American tour in a while. They did a European tour this year. Of course, Taylor is touring next year for 1989. So this could be a little pit stop as Taylor set the tour next year. At least for sure she's touring. But Metallica, this could lead to a new U.S. tour, with them doing this wheel thing in America. That is it for the Atakline for today. Thank y'all very much for watching. With that in mind, y'all been attacked by the news from Zach. See you all later, everybody.